Hello everyone, welcome back to another 2v2 battle with me and Surreal. We are both going to be bringing the Beastmen against a Wood Elf player and the Vampire Counts. My army here is going to be a frontline of Ungor Spearmen just for bodies. We have 2 Gorbals, a Brace Shaman of the Beast. Me and Surreal both took Morgor the Shadowgave because he is the best option. We have 2 Minotaurs with great weapons, 1 normal Minotaur right there. Then over here I have a lot of Cav, 2 Puppies, 2 Razorgore Herds, and 2 normal Centaurs. All of these are meant to kill Glade Guard. Because we're going up against the Vampire Counts and Wood Elves, I thought it may make sense that the Wood Elf player may go heavy range because the Vampire Count is all about like tar pitting units and being all melee. So like, it makes a sense, you know, that you may make an army that's range focused if you have a Vampire Count ally. And that's kind of what happened over here, but we'll get to that in a moment. So for Surreal, we have a front line of Gore Herd, we have 2 Giants, 2 normal Minotaurs, the 2 Gorbals protecting Morgor the Shadowgave, and then 3 Bestigors. Back here we have 3 Vanguard deployed Wild Riders. Let's take a look at the troop count here. Yeah, the enemy has a lot more because they have Vampire Counts, and we took a lot of Minotaurs in this battle. And then the rest of the Wood Elf army here, we have 3 Treekin. They're being led by Durthu. We have a front line of, my god, like 7 Glade Guard with Hagbane tips, and a Sisters of the Thorn. I think that is their entire army. And the rest is going to be the Vampire Count. So yeah, they went a little more heavy in the Archer department than even I was expecting. That's a lot of Glade Guard. For the Vampire Count, they are being led by Vlad von Karstein, who has a White King. We have multiple Skeletal Spearmen, multiple Zombies. We have 3 Corpse Carts with, I believe, all Unholy Lodestones spread out amongst the army, which is cool. You don't see Corpse Carts that often. Then we have a couple Grave Guard, including the Stearnsmen. And in the back line, we have more Skeletal Warriors back there. And Vargulf, 2 Vargulfs, sorry, 2 puppies. And then all the way back here, we have a Varix Reavers that I think our enemy is going to forget about for about half of this battle, just to let you know there. So that is the comp here. They kind of deployed in a way I wasn't expecting, though. I assumed that the Vanguard or the Vampire would be boom, and then the Archers would be boom. But besides that, the Wood Elf's composition is a little bit as what I was expecting it. So we're going to immediately charge, because we are Beastmen, and that is what you do. This is when we are going to see what their armies look like, because the hill was kind of blocking most of them. And we saw all of these archers, and I was like, yes! So the Cav contingent here is going to just run around the Vampire Count, and the plan is to slam into the Glade Guard over here. So Surreal's going to be marching up. I'm going to be marching up. We have a lot of melee forces, and the Vampire Count player is going to have a hard time trying to pin all of us down. Meanwhile, these Wild Riders are going to be coming out from behind us, and they're going to be slamming into Surreal's Bestigors here in a minute or 2. So again, we're Beastmen, so we're just charging down the hill. Gonna get into these zombies. We're gonna try and tie them up. I have the Flock of Doom being cast over here to try and snag these Cairn Race. By the way, the enemy has Cairn Race. I think I forgot to mention that, but there they are with the little sickle symbol there. And again, my Cav is just gonna be marching up, and boom, 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 boom is the idea. The Wood Elf player does not have many frontline fighters here, just these Treekin and Durthu to try and hold off the entirety of Surreal's forces from getting into his Glade Guard, who the enemy player is now retreating. The Sisters of Thorn have already taken some damage. They are trying to get out of here because they probably see all my forces coming in. And again, I'm just going to be doing rear charges on this army and trying to kill all of these people with our Centaurs and our puppies. I'm going to get these Centaurs charged into the back of these Glade Guard. They also snag the Cairn Race. Meanwhile, the frontline fight is going pretty well. I was holding back our Minotaurs because of all of the archers nearby, and I didn't want them to get picked off one at a time. So I was waiting for them to be pushed off, which now they are. So my massive Minotaur squad is being controlled as one group because I am singularly... Let me try that again. I'm controlling each of these units individually, so that's a lot of micromanagement for me to do, continually cycle charging, so what I'm looking for, while also trying to maintain a giant group of Minotaurs into different attack targets. So we just have them all in one massive group, and they are getting in on the puppy and Vlad von Karstein for right now. And again, most of my micromanagement is going to be out here, just trying to do cycle charges with Razorgores, Chaos Puppies going against all of these archers. Surreal's forces are now being rear charged by the Wild Riders, but the Bestigors are a very hardy unit, so they don't actually take too much damage here, really. I kind of expect a lot more because the high armor will protect them, but still the Wild Riders have a really high charge bonus. And right now, Surreal's leadership force here of Morgor the Shadowgave and the Gorbals are focusing down Durthu, along with the help of the Minotaurs, and they are doing a pretty good job at that. I am still just focusing trying to kill all 7 of these Glade Guard, which we have done a significant amount of damage to. Our Minotaur group has now almost killed the puppy over here, and I think there's a second... Or did we already kill one puppy? We may have already killed one of the Vargulfs at this point, because that's a lot of Minotaurs. Maybe I did. So this may be the second puppy that we're trying to now kill. I'm trying to not kill Vlad because he is so tanky, and I would much rather destroy his army instead of just trying to take a lot of time killing him. There we go, Duther, who has now just dropped. You have another Flock of Doom being dropped on Vlad and nearby units over there. And again, micromanaging all of our cav. You can see them just kind of going all around. I am going to be purposefully ignoring Varix Reavers, and I think I actually run this puppy right behind it, because if the enemy's not going to micro it, I'm not going to attack it, at least not until I have to. And the Wood Elf player's army now, for the most part, has been taken out. These two have a couple Wild Riders. The Treekin are still alive here and there, but they have been heavily damaged, and Durthu is now dead. So the Giants and Gores are just going to be piling in over here, and they're going to be going onto Vlad von Karstein, where you can see Surreal's 2 Gorbals are already on the job. Meanwhile, my Minotaur group is still trying to kill this puppy and doing a pretty good job at that, while I maintain my cycle charges here. Going to try and get these Razor Gores into the Sisters of Thorn because I don't want them fighting the Wild Riders. And this puppy is being chased by a Ferromanticore, which was summoned by Durthu and has mostly died because of summoning sickness. Again, I don't think that's what that's called. It's just what I call it. It's when they are continually dying since they are summoned. And it's the reason why I think this spell sucks now. The one that summons the Manticore, Savage Dominion, I think, or that may be the Cygor. Anyway, both of those spells, the Cygor and the Ferromanticore, just kind of suck because it's so expensive. It's over 20 mana, or 20 Winds of Magic, and they just die, you know? So I don't think it's really worth it anymore, even though you get 2 charges of them. So right now, the Vampire player is now just kind of in a pocket of resistance led by Vlad von Karstein. They still have 2 Unholy Lodestone Corpse Guards, a White King, and some Sternsmen, and another Graveguard mixed in here. But there are now a lot of Minotaurs heading over into this clump of troops, and they're going to be doing a lot of damage. Meanwhile, Surreal's monstrous leadership group is just taking it to Vlad von Karstein and the summoned units that he has been trying to summon to keep him protected. Another Flock of Doom being dropped with this entire flock of undead forces. Rest of the map, Wild Riders out here and there, but they're not too much of a problem. You have Gladeguard, but they're nearly dead over there. So our main focus is now just killing Vlad von Karstein and the rest of his army, including these Unholy Lodestones. At this point in the match, I had started to individually micro each Minotaur unit to attack a different target because the micro was not as intensive for my cav anymore because most of their targets are dead. So they are, in theory, attacking different units, although they're still in just kind of one giant clump, just doing what they do, being Minotaurs and smashing things like the Hulk. The 2 Gorbals and Morgor were assigned to kill this White King, which is why they're over here, and the other Minotaurs are just kind of taking out the zombies and other summon units nearby. And I think Vlad von Karstein is dead. There we go. Vlad von Karstein just bit the dust, and this is when the enemy army is going to start losing what morale it has left. You can see a lot of these units are already broken. That is the Wood Elf units, of course. And then the rest of these... Oh, that's right. This takes a while because these zombies are summoned, and all summoned units are unbreakable. So the remaining of this battle is just killing summoned units at this point. So yeah, a lot of microing involved, for me at least, trying to take out 7 different Gladeguard units with all of my puppies and Centaurs, but they did a really good job at it. The Wood Elf player was not protected. The Vampire player, like, I don't think they really worked too well together. In theory, a Vampire army protecting a Wood Elf army of archers and squishy targets could potentially work, but their formation just wasn't really set up that way. So my cav was just free to get in there and destroy things. At some point, the Varix Reavers were microed. I'm not sure where. They may have been thrown into here and I just missed it. I can't remember. We'll try and see that in the cinematic view maybe. But yeah, they were microed about halfway into the battle, and I think they charged my Razor Gores out here somewhere. But good game to our opponents. Hope you enjoyed that. Let's take a look at the kill count. It's a pretty high kill count, but a lot of these units were killing... Well, the Centaur... My cav was killing a bunch of Gladeguards. These are mostly elf kills here. But like the Minotaurs are killing a bunch of squishy zombies, skeletons, maybe some Graveguard here and there. So that's why their kill count is so high, because they're fighting vampire counts. Morgor the Shadowgave got 61 kills. He's such a beast. Like, I like it and I hate it, because now that Morgor is here, there's really no reason to take another leadership unit for the Beastmen. And that's cool because he's super powerful and he's really cool. But it's also bad because it's just like, it kind of makes everything else obsolete. The only other one would be Malagor, but Malagor is a lot weaker now because the Cygor spell is not as good, simply because it still costs so much, and your Cygors are just going to die, well, maybe not at the snap of a finger, but they slowly die, you know? So I think Morgor is a weaker choice, or sorry, Malagor is a weaker choice now. Anyway, just a quick little rant. Morgor is cool, but he's also bad because of those reasons. Anyway. So you got a lot of kills. Brave Shaman of the Beast got 23 kills. Almost died. I think he got routed off, but came back, and I forgot to micro him back into the battle. Gorbals did really well at killing the puppies, leading their Minotaur charge, and then, yeah, so pretty good there. And we can't see the other two because I can't click their armies, which is unfortunate. But for Joan 1818 or JWN, we have 17 kills on 5 on cars. Actually, I think this player was in my last match, weren't they? JWN 1818? I think so. Skeleton Warriors got some decent kills against our Ungors, as did these Graveguard, and the Sternsman got okay. 54 kills in this Vargulf, and this one must have died really early. I just missed it. Because it only got 1 kill. It's probably my first target. I mean, that's a lot of Minotaurs. 3 different Minotaur groups, and then on top of that, 2 Gorbals charging in. It's a lot of damage. And the Corpse Guards, they're not really there to get kills, but they're still pretty cool. Yeah. So again, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. Let's take a cinematic view of the war herds going against the unlikely alliance of Vampire Counts and Wood Elves. I don't think I mentioned this before, but I did turn off shadows on this map because with shadows on, it is so dark. It is really hard to see anything, so I have to turn them completely off so you can actually see what the hell's going on. So if it looks a little weird, you're wondering like, hey, why don't these people have shadows? That's why, because I have to turn them off. You can see that we're already starting to take fire from this Gladeguard, which is really what, like, I'm even moving these guys back, because the Minotaurs are very susceptible to a massive amount of ranged fire from even these Hagbane tips, just because they have very low armor, so I had to keep them away from those elves. So many Minotaurs in this battle. So beautiful. Gorbals don't care about tree men. They're just getting right into these Gladeguard. Speaking of getting into the Gladeguard, puppies! Little puppies. Not big Vargulf puppies. What up, Razagors? They're pretty cool since they're a recent change. I mean, they were cool before, but I think they're actually better. Technically weaker, but also a lot cheaper. I think it's for the best. Puppy, this is a battle you can't win, my friend. There are too many even for you. Here comes those rear charges from the Wild Riders. Puppy's resting after successfully, I think, just murdering all these. Don't look at those bodies. It's okay. They're gonna wake up. This isn't. Listen, no elves are harmed in the making of this video. It's all lies. It's all movie magic. Ungor herds are pretty good at killing zombies. It's a good use for them. Like, I wasn't even worried. At this point, the Ungor herds kind of ran away from Morgor, leaving him kind of alone, but Morgor is so damn tanky. So tanky. Let's got puppies. Normally, I kind of fear White Kings on my casters. Not for Morgor. Actually, I guess Morgor technically is not a caster. Though he does have spells. Kinda. The summons. There goes Vlad right there. There's the Varix Reavers. They're charging into the backs of my Centaurs? Oh, they got caught up on by Bestigors here. Ooh. Bad day for them. Now, normal Centaur is not necessarily great against other Cav, especially Varix Reavers, but I didn't get these Centaurs to kill Cav. I got them to kill this Glade Guard. The ones you want for Cav killing would be the Great Weapon version. Or you can try the Throwing Axes too. I don't use those, because they require some micro. But you can try. Look at all of these Minotaurs! Look! Just a Minotaur party. That's a party you don't want to go to. When you get an invitation in the mail, it says, invitation to Minotaur party, you decline. Politely, by the way. Don't piss them off. These are some friendly chaos spawns summoned by Morgor, of which we have a lot of those because we have 2 Morgors. So it's just a whole monster bash up here. I think at this point Vlad's dead and we're just killing the zombies. That is, look at all of those. God. That's a ridiculous amount of Minotaurs. And it's not even like we focus on Minotaurs either. It's not like these are just Minotaur only armies. It's actually kind of a nice mixture. But again, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the Beastmen. I will see you all in the next episode, which is going to be Bretonnians. Spoiler alert. Take care.